going on, Chuckleheads? I am Carlo Guadagnino. This is the DingoTalk Alumni Tour. My guest this week is Kyle Wales, class of 2017. Kyle's going to talk about his time here in Brooke County, growing up in Brooke County, going to Brooke High School, how he ended up here at Bethany, and what he did, what he's done since. Then we'll send it. Well, obviously, we're going to send it to KJ. We're going to send it to Harry Chambers. We're going to have. I'm going to give Kyle some turners, and we're going to have a great conversation. So, without further ado, Kyle Wales. What's going on, Chuckleheads? I am Carlo Guadagnino. This is the DingoTalk Alumni Tour. My guest is Kyle Wales, Chief Redo, class of 2017.
Right, absolutely.
Well, Kyle, I know you don't drink tea, but it's a custom, so
yeah.
I'm going to give it to you.
Thank you.
I got kombucha with you, so you can have some of that.
I appreciate that.
I'm going to drink some tea.
All right, do it. I'm going to drink my tea.
And we're going to have a...
he thinks it's champagne.
It looks like champagne, it does.
It is champagne. It is.
So, Kyle, you grew up in Brooke County, huh?
That's right. I didn't travel far.
And it's where Bethany, so you ended up coming to college, really, 4 miles over the hill from you?
Over the hill. That's what, yeah.
Let's talk about the decision. How did you, obviously, Bethany's right in your back door, West Liberty's in your back door, Franciscan's in your back door. So you have a couple...
Well, yeah, so I have, a lot of things. I was my uncle's a Hall of Famer here at Bethany College for baseball. He played for Carver, and yeah, that was the main decision. I didn't have much of a thought process. I was go.
Wanted to play baseball, obviously.
Yeah, wanted to play baseball. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I know I wanted to talk if I did anything. That's why I did.
That comes down the road. We'll
get
there. Don't jump ahead of yourself. Stay
I'm
on.
sorry. Yeah.
I know.
Outside of that, the influence of my uncle, which his dad, my pap, he was a local legend in this area. Obviously, he was a Hall of Fame football coach for my high school, and he coached him. He coached me for a brief period of time in middle school. So I was like, kind of just seems right that I'm going to follow the chain of who coached who and get coached by Carver. Yeah, and that seemed like a good idea at the time, but I really didn't know what was bound to happen for me in terms of, I guess, realizing my existence in the world.
You came to Bethany and you were just going to be a baseball player. There was not
academic
side. There was no these grand
Yeah.
ideas of I'm going to go be this or I'm going to go be that. You're going to figure it out when you get here.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So I had no other thought process other than that whatsoever because I had to take my ACT. I did it a couple times. They're like, hey, if you do it one more time, you do a great job because or you'll get in, you'll get accepted. I did a terrible job first time around. Did not study. Just winged it. Yeah, typical Kyle move. And did not go so well. But second time around, they're like, all right, cool, boom, accepted. So I'm like, all right, didn't really have to try hard. So the amount of influence of effort and everything like that kind of just bowled up into a snowball and when I hit the wall, really. But to say the least, there's a wall at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, there always is.
Yeah.
So this is like a Looney Tune cartoon.
Yeah.
There's always something at the bottom.
Always something. Yeah, I actually saw that on my antenna the other day.
So
fantastic.
You're here at Bethany. That's 2013?
Yeah. 12, 13.
Fall of 12.
Fall of 12.
So you get here in the fall of 12.
Yeah. No. Wow. Fall of 11. Holy cow.
Fall of 11.
Wow. Yeah. Fall of 11. Ooh. I'm one old cat. You're 2017, man. Are you Chris Farley?
Yeah.
A lot of people go to school for 7 years, right?
6.
Oh, I didn't go the whole time.
No. We'll get to those stories.
The joke was, they're called doctors.
They are called doctors.
But I was not, doctor.
Well, you were a doctor.
No.
Okay.
I was a chief, if anything.
All right, so you're here at Bethany.
Yeah.
You're playing baseball. When do you? Because you graduated with a common degree.
Yeah.
Did you come in? Did you decide to be a communications major, or were you one of the undecideds that kind of fell into it?
Sorta. Yes and no. I kind of wanted to be a teacher and get into coaching. That was a thing that I wanted to fall back on because obviously my pap and I admired a lot of people that coached me and basically other coaches. One of them included my dad. Mm-hmm. But I thought that'd be an easy route, and my pap kind of made that seem like, hey, that's probably not the best idea. And I was like, man, if he's saying it. So kind of winged it. hey, I'll do communications. Really didn't think anything else. If I was more applied academically, I'd probably get into psychology because I love the way the brain works and stuff like that. Because that's cool. But outside of that, I chose comm, and ended up being digital media and sports communication, which is great.
That's when our story starts.
Yeah,
that's
where the Dingo met the Chief.
And
right?
We had a show on Wednesdays
with Bobby.
Just talking about it.
Yeah.
Bobby Bush.
Bobby Bush. Yeah.
Bree Steek, Matt Neverett. They were all involved.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then we went on to do baseball.
Yes.
Together.
Yeah. I was actually looking at the pictures the other day.
So let's walk. I guess what that experience, the comm experience is like. You're sitting there I think we started working together. You were a sophomore.
Yeah. Yes.
So you're a second-year student at Bethany, and you have this opportunity to be on the air and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why did it interest you? How did it come about?
Oh, so honestly, the main reason that gave me any confidence to do it is that I watched a lot of football with my pap. One of the greatest things I ever had enjoyed doing was watching a Sunday with that guy, and we would just spit football back and forth. And I thought, you know what, sadly, was never in the opportunity to be in the color, which is totally cool. But if I can get anywhere close and be professional, it'll be from the play-by-play standpoint. And
you're a pretty good color guy for baseball.
Yeah, I can handle the one lines.
You were real quick.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, baseball worked out because I played baseball. You see what I'm saying? But in the football,
football,
you know what I mean?
That's
it's all about how that.
Because when you got to the football side of it was you and Josh Moody.
Right.
Were the kind of the.
And Josh played. Josh played the college game. I can't do anything above that. You know what I mean? So he was totally qualified for the job.
To be the color guy.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But that's basically what I'm getting at there. It's like the closest I could get is the booth.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously the whole planning and getting involved and doing the right things.
I think my favorite story from that season has to be going to W&J.
Yeah. Oh.
And we had already gone out there and we had checked to make sure that our equipment at the time was going to work with what they had in this beautiful press box.
The best facility we've seen all year because we've only seen
Bethany.
And
we were getting this chance to travel, and I remember that drive there, we were jamming out, and it was
stoked.
We're here. The PAC is going to be there. There's going to be a couple other, the smaller, the WJPA in Washington, the other small radio stations around the area. So we get there, we go to hook everything up, nothing works.
Nothing.
So.
Nothing.
I actually didn't call either game. Kyle called the game on my cell phone while I was on Kyle's cell phone, getting told that we need to be more prepared. I think that's the best way to say what was. That's the nicest way to say what was coming across on the other side of that.
You see, this is the thing. Okay, so I learned marketing. I have a show that I do on Twitch. Okay, and where I'm going out with this. Okay, you can Stream Team Pod. You can follow that. Anyway, where I'm going out with that is that you learn about technology and what works together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're stoked. We're actually working with new technology because we, at the time, were working with analog.
Plug it into a phone jack and hope the call picks up.
Yeah.
And somebody's in the studio to answer the call.
Yeah, and so big deal. Bethany's in the playoffs the first time. This is after I'm done playing. Like he's saying, Bethany's in the playoffs the first time, and we want to go call the game. You know what I mean? That's the first thing. We're like, how in the hell do we get there?
How do we? Yeah. So we line it up.
Yeah.
The scheduling side of that. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of planning and.
Right, and you did a lot of that. And where I'm going with this is we get to this one digital switcher.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's just basically. Here you go.
Yeah. They pulled it out of the box and handed it to us, and it's not something that we had ever worked with.
Ever.
And then we found out that you make a phone call.
Yeah.
Same
way, kind of.
And you called the game.
Yeah.
Wait. So he has the headset on as if we're calling it on a radio with the radio mic.
Yeah.
But he's got the cell phone here, and he's holding the earphone. with the mic in front of him. Well, I'm standing behind him going, yeah, bro, this is great. Keep doing it. Keep calling it. We're going to figure this out. So we got home.
Yeah.
And Joe Dumas, this is the best part of the story. I don't know if I even ever told you this part.
This is the part I definitely
Joe
missed.
Dumas comes in to, it's me, Professor Gamble, Dr. Sutherland, and Joe. This is before Eric had got there, before we made our jump to the TV side.
I have to get some tea for this, brother.
So Joe looks at me and goes, well, what did you guys do? And I said, well, I turned it on, I plugged it in, we lined it up with the stretch. And he goes, how'd you line it up with stretch? And I went, well, I had it on the phone, we did that. He goes, so you've never used this equipment before, you didn't bring a laptop, you didn't bring anything with you other than a cell phone. And I went, are you telling me it would have been different? He goes, yeah, you can't use the phone version until you use the laptop version to establish the system. So really, we called a game, and it was like 2.5 hours long. My dad was still at the time. We were splitting the phone bill, and he goes, "Hey, it's an extra $100 on the phone bill. What's for?" I don't know. At some point, you made a 7.5 hour long phone call. What do you mean 7.5? Oh, because there was 2 games. There was the and unfortunately, Bethany drew Thomas Moore.
Yeah.
And then I think W&J for W&J to go.
Bethany was lower seed.
And they drew the 2 top seeds in the tournament. That was rough.
Yeah.
So we jumped from radio. We did the show. We had a long-standing show.
Yeah.
Eric Sprouse then comes to Bethany.
Right.
This is where we'll go Campus View. We're going to get into.
Oh my gosh, that was. I'll tell you right now.
All the other things.
Bethany After Dark was quite the trip.
So, but we get into the TV side, and there's the Bison Roundup, there's game day, we had a whole production team for any athletic event, and there was not a game we didn't call. No,
there was not. We were on it. We were BSPN, that's for sure.
We really were.
Yeah.
We really were, but...
I'm Kyle Wales, BSPN. I've always wanted to say that.
So, you moved to TV, and then... You moved to your hosting your own show as Bethany After Dark.
Oh, yeah.
So let's talk about that version of the fun department. Once we got the freedom to kind of, here's a camera, go.
I wasn't even thinking of Bethany After Dark. My gosh, of course, it's terrible. It's on my laptop. And it's funny to say the whole laptop thing. I had a desktop that was about this big, okay, and it was connected to my TV. That was my computer for school. That's how much I care. So, I had an iPad.
6 years, buddy.
No, technically 5.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
I took a whole year off.
I do the same thing. I technically got here in the fall of 2010, and I graduated in the spring of 2016. So I was only technically at Bethany College for 5.5 years. Yeah. But if you go 10 to 16, it's 6 years. Doesn't matter how you want to cut it.
Doesn't matter how you cut it.
6 years.
Yeah, doesn't matter how you cut it.
I'm not letting anybody off the hook.
I mean, if you're gonna live with 6 years, I guess. Yeah.
If I'm gonna carry the 6 years.
11 to 7. Yeah, sure. 17. Right.
So let's go. The broadcasting. You started to talk about you, Moody, the game day. Let's walk.
Yeah, that was a great time
of game day, like a game day for you, because you were in a different situation than I was. Yeah. I had to analyze. You had to. This is what's happening.
Yeah, I was sweating for sure. Everything was. Oh my gosh. Well done, like, everything in its place, and there's a set time for everything, so you just had to come up with a certain amount of stuff for this 45-second bit outside of the play-by-play.
Yeah.
And it's just terrible that I called it like a radio show. Like radio, hey.
But that was where you came from. I mean,
yeah, I was happy to be there. I was just happy to be there, brother.
Well,
just happy to be there.
I think that's a good place to stop. We'll come back with Bethany After Dark. And then we'll lead into comps and what you're doing now.
Yeah, because Bethany After Dark was a good set off.
So we'll come back. I'm going to send it to KJ, Kieran Dunn with Maple Shades Outdoors. If you haven't yet, subscribe to him on YouTube, follow him on Instagram. A lot of great stuff going over there. Harry's actually going to talk about them later on in the show as well. But without further ado, go ahead, KJ, take it away.
What's going on, everybody? This is Kieran Dunn, founder of Maple Shade Outdoors. You're currently watching Dingo Talk with my man Carlo. If you're anything like me and you're really enjoying this content, you should like and subscribe his page. While you're on YouTube, you should probably just head over and like and subscribe Maple Shade Outdoors. Check out our page. enjoy some videos, some outdoor content. You might as well hop on Instagram, Facebook, follow us, Maple Shade Outdoors. Now that's enough about me. I'm trying to get back and watch the rest of Dingo Talk, so I'll talk to y'all later.
What's going on, Chuckleheads? I am Carlo Guadagnino. This is the Dingo Talk Alumni Tour. Special thank you to KJ for the sponsorship and those kind words. Kyle, class of 17.
Hi there.
We left off. You were we were talking about kind of your calm experience. Ed Sprouse comes in. You make the jump to the TV.
Yeah.
You and I worked a lot together.
Right. Yeah.
We kind of followed similar paths on the comm track. I got a send off. It was Campus Feud. You got a send off. It was Bethany After Dark.
Yeah.
So Bethany After Dark.
Well, it's kind of weird. Yeah. So, well, hold on. I didn't go to school for 6 years. Took a year off. Let's talk about that real quick.
I went to school for 6
Yeah. So there's two halves to this coin. And,
yeah, there's the heads and the tails.
Right.
And I'm the ass. So
yeah. So basically, where I'm going with this is that the first half, where we first got together, I was not fit to be an adult. Really, not ready. Not ready. Yeah, but like it's all about how you handle things and what you do with it. And I didn't do a lot of good things.
You were given. You got to Bethany. You're in a different Bethany though. You get to Bethany. You're living in Beta at this point.
Yeah.
You're 30 seconds from Chambers. You're 30 seconds from the bar.
Yeah.
You're not playing baseball anymore, so your main job is to show up when you're supposed to be at recordings.
Yeah.
You had a lot of free time other than class.
Yeah, and it was just a downward spiral. You know, I was going to classes, anything like that. I hit a dark hole for sure. And took that year off, and they said, hey, if you take these 2 classes that you messed up in, you can then come back. No problem.
And he's being modest, folks. He takes this year off, but he still continues to grow his communication skills, broadcasting skills, the documentary film. You do a lot of things. I mean, you and Garrett worked on that.
Oh my God!
Homeless project together.
Yeah, that was a wild experience for sure. Yeah, and looking back on that now, can't believe I did it just because of. I mean, I wouldn't say for who I am. I would have done it again. Because
No, it was. I'm going to be honest with you. The rest of us that were still back here, Bethany, we heard that you were going to go spend a night as living like a homeless person.
No, it was a week.
Well, nobody was shocked. There was no oh, Kyle would never do something like that. It was a yeah. I mean, that's Kyle. You were a go with the flow. I mean, that was. I think part of your downward spiral was that go with the flow. Like if
I was a lot of a yes man.
If we were all going to the bar after the show, you were coming. You were the second. Like
I was there.
Where Bob wasn't. Bobby was not a guy that. I mean, he'd come down to the bar, but he was not a drinker.
He'd be in there and he dipped out. He said, "Hey, how's it going, guys? Later."
And
once we started getting our thing,
you stayed. And so
carried on.
So let's go to Bethany After Dark. So I want to get to comps as well.
Right. Yeah.
So you take the year. Well, we'll explore that. Why did you make the decision to take the year off?
Oh well, first it was supposed to be just a semester, and long story short, I had an opportunity to honestly work for my best friend's dad. I was a VISTA worker, volunteer in service to America. That's the acronym. But it was from the AmeriCorps, and I learned a lot during that year. Worked a lot with. I helped develop a community garden. Worked with the farmers market. Worked with the Brooke County Museum. A lot of different organizations.
Close to your heart. A lot of local.
Yeah.
This is your town. This is your community. So.
Yeah, it actually helped me get a drive into doing something that I love. Now, of course, not to say I wasn't doing stuff that I loved at Bethany, you know, in the comm department, which I was doing fine in those classes. Because everything else, you know what I mean? Like I was doing the comm core, doing terrible. I mean, I messed up on economics twice, so.
Not an easy class.
Not an easy class.
You still had to get your lid on it, which was just a nightmare. I mean,
reading books. Yeah, man, not fun. Honestly, you know it's terrible. Like now, who reads books? You know
I listen to books.
It's 2021, right? I listen to books
a lot
too.
Of books.
Yeah.
I don't read them.
I watch books
I like
too.
listening. I enjoy listening to books. It expands the mind.
It expands the mind. I watch a lot of books.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
I think that's called a television program.
Well, they were once books, right?
Sure, they were once scripts too.
They were depicted.
So they were plays at one time. If you want to go that route.
man.
Man, if you're watching it, bro, that's a TV show. It's a show.
J.R.R. Tolkien, man.
It's a show. It's
Movie.
like, you know, radio
Yeah,
without the vision.
right.
It's television without the sight.
That's live podcasts.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
Bethany After Dark.
I'm going down to, Anyway,
you're spot on.
yeah, I'm
Bethany
going
After Dark.
Yeah. No, so anyway, Bethany After Dark, great send off. You had your family feud. That was hilarious, dude. You're great. Now for mine, we got lucky to kind of got connected with the right people. Met a group that did a Pitt Tonight, like a Tonight show up at Pitt University, and had a phenomenal night getting acquainted and figuring out all the ins and outs of running a Tonight show. And then coming back and then putting that all together with the guys that I did it with, or the folks that I did it with, men and women, but we just had a lot of fun doing it.
And you did your first show live. It was part of Moonbeam.
Yeah, you know, and
that's an interesting thing because working live.
Yeah.
We both did it in multiple aspects, but that's a whole different when it's your show.
Whole new world. All right, Ariel couldn't have said it better. But it's unbelievable, man. Like doing the whole thing live, coming in to the calf, like from my car. It was crazy. Gosh.
And the promo for it was amazing.
Yeah, no, hey.
The promo was it's the original vehicle.
Yeah.
You know, it's
the old whip.
There was a lot of trips. Trips to Morgantown. I actually, here, I'll throw you a curveball. You sent us down a road. Morgantown.
Yeah.
You, me, Barnes. We're staying at my cousin's house, remember?
Oh, well, that might have
We're reading the GPS.
That might have been junior year?
We're reading the GPS wrong. We walked 4.5 miles in the wrong direction with a 6'7" mammoth that had just got his brace off from knee surgery and was not happy that we had walked 4 miles in the opposite direction because one of us, and I believe I put it into the phones and it was my phone. I was the one holding the phone, so I'm gonna take blame for it. I was holding the phone upside down and the thingy didn't flip. So we just kept walking because the blue line never went away. Never recalculated, never none of that. Well,
I can tell you exactly why, though.
We were going back to Porco's is where we were going.
Yeah, but we weren't all there. And anyone that knows Morgantown, everything, if you're not on the main stretch road, is like this. Like if you're going left up into like campus or off campus, like apartments and stuff, it's all up a hill. And we weren't going fast enough to get the GPS going. Hey, like I don't know what you're doing in the car. I think
we might have been far enough away.
It probably thought we were in a car.
Yeah, well, that was the thing.
We weren't even walking.
We were.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we weren't. We definitely weren't
walking.
Yeah.
We had gone to these brand new apartments that Morgantown had just put up. We went to see some of Barnes' friends, and all we had to do, we find out later on in the story, we find out that all we had to do was walk down the hill, and my cousin's house was right there. Yeah. Well, so we come bumbling in at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah, we walked for at least 2 hours.
We walked around Greater Morgantown. We did.
Wish I had the watch at the time. Would have hit the rings.
Steps.
Yeah.
You'd have hit your steps and then some.
Yeah.
So we get to this part of the other part of Bethany. It's the last part.
The stretch. Yeah.
The comps.
The big push.
What was comps like for you studying? What were your tactics?
Nerve-wracking.
Absolutely.
Absolutely nerve-wracking. You know, it's the final point to where anyone in a normal college setting is like, hey, I'm done. Like, got a couple exams, my final stuff, maybe presentation, donezo, out. We have a presentation of for a final project, and then we have, I ended up bombing that because I just didn't answer the question asked. It's terrible.
You just went off and...
Well, no, I panicked. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I just totally, wasn't probably medicated. Literally, they're like, so what did you do? I'm like,
what do you mean?
That's what I did, right? Like, what's on the screen, and basically had this here. You know what I mean? Like, okay, cool. What did Carlo do then?
Yeah.
This is your project.
So you get through senior project.
Got through it,
and you go into comps. So,
luckily,
study tactics. What were they for Kyle Wells? Because you're a little bit more of what today's student's going to be. A little the ADHD, a
100%.
bunch of different places, but you gotta for this test
Be
you
down,
gotta
be there.
focus.
Yeah.
How did you cope? What was your
It's
were
actually,
you a nighttime studier as opposed to getting up early? Like
no, I did not get up early.
okay,
I wanted to make, because like one thing I was not good at, even when I was doing the best I could in school, I really didn't have the greatest sleeping schedule at all. So I had to take my 7 hours with full ability. But with that being said, I kind of used my lack of focus or my, I don't know, lack of ability to just think like, okay, I need to get this done. You know how I was telling you, like, I had pride in the stuff I did as a Vista, and here I'm like, I just gotta get it done.
you just want to get it. Yeah, at that point you're
What do I gotta do? And
whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. Just
Yeah.
let me leave.
So yeah, and what I did is that luckily, Bethany ain't that big, but there's a lot of different places I could go study. So that's what I did. I went to one place in the library, then I went over back to Beta, and then I went back to the library, then I went back to Beta.
Recommendation for somebody that is kind of all over the place. Maybe
Yeah.
just change your scenery while you're studying for it.
Yeah,
And-
absolutely. Change of scenery. Because
And that worked for you. The fact that you were in a different, you had to go to the library to go do it.
Right.
And like once you were there, well, what else were you going to do?
Yeah, I was just stuck there.
Where at Beta, you have a little bit more of the leeway. Like, oh, okay, I'm good on the studying right now. I'm going to play NC Dub or I'm going to play.
That's that, man. Yeah.
You know,
Bring it back. No one cares. I know.
no, bring it back.
They should.
I care.
And yeah, so
I care.
I'm gonna get my 360. Not dubbed. What's the word?
Where you pull everything off of it.
No, where it's alienated or whatever.
Oh, I have no idea.
Put mods in it and stuff. Mod it. Oh my god, mod it. Dig
So-
for that one.
So
Yeah.
you study. Obviously, I know.
study.
I assume Sunday before comps, you're not studying. You're kind of at the point where this is how I'm going to do.
Oh no,
There's no, or you studied Sunday.
I got to the point where I was treating it like I did, like spelling in first grade. I did everything, like if I could get it into like one sentence or one phrase, I'll write it 3 times. You know what I mean? Like I just gotta rep that shit.
So
Can I say that word?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm sorry.
Sure. You already said it. I mean, it's
Did I?
going away.
Did I say it?
You said it.
Other than that time?
No, I mean that time. That
You got to do that.
you add. Well, now you've said it twice. It's not coming back. It's out there. It's out there in the world.
I'm putting it out there.
So you get through comps. Let's talk about the feeling of walking out.
Oh, it was it's beyond nerve wracking. First, the writtens were fine. I was able to do it in the learning center. That was another thing. Gosh,
Benefit?
I can't believe I forgot about. Yeah, how could I forget? I was going in between the library, Beta, learning center.
So the Learning Center was
Yeah.
incorporated, and that's something that at Bethany you have, the McCann Learning Center.
Huge.
And Heather Taylor and the rest of the crew there are amazing.
And since we're on this level now, that's one of the reasons why I came to Bethany. I didn't get diagnosed with ADD until I was a junior in high school. I've been me forever. Okay, I don't know how else to put it. Okay, and everyone just would tell my mom, "Hey, Kyle can't pay attention in class." Like, well, you're the teacher, man. Recommend something. You know what I
What
mean?
do you want him to do?
Yeah.
Make him pay attention.
Right. Yeah.
So let's
Back to it.
Let's
We do
focus
the-
more on walking out.
Oh,
you
well-
walk out of comps.
God. Okay. Yeah,
Walk
fine.
through that. So you get to orals, right?
Oh yeah. Bombed it.
You couldn't have bombed it.
I didn't just good enough. They told me. Yeah, dude. It's like I literally whoa, yeah, it was. I shit my pants. That's straight Kyle, yeah. Because I was like, all right, if I make it this far, all I gotta do is basically all right, all they're gonna do is critique what you did wrong or ask, hey, why did you write this or what did this mean? Better explain yourself because that's basically what the orals is essentially. It's, hey, you said this. What does that mean? That. And I really couldn't articulate what the hell I was saying. And because the whole time I was just trying to basically repeat what I learned to be the right answer.
Yeah.
That's basically all I've learned my whole life. And that was a hard thing to swallow during during the orals.
So you say that. Let's move into what you're doing now. I mean, you've gone through a couple. I mean, COVID has been up and down. You've worked security a little bit. You've done the exchange thing. I
worked sales for 3 years.
You were doing sales and New Energy.
Yeah.
I mean, you were going to have an office. There was.
Yeah.
So
That's
let's
a
go
talk for
through-
another time. But
let's
wow,
go through
crazy
adult
time.
Kyle.
Yeah, sure.
Give me a
Yeah.
summarization of graduated Kyle, adult Kyle.
Gotta make money.
Pay the bills, do what you gotta do.
Well, no, it literally costs money to breathe,
You're right.
and
I'm aware.
that
That's why I live in Bethany.
unbelievable. You know, like
They only charge you 10 cents an hour to breathe here.
yeah, that's
Great.
that's,
It's great. You
that's
work out to
great.
like $1.
You know, the highest taxes are in PA.
I know.
Yeah, I'm breathing. My breaths are
They're
heavy.
charging you $25-$30.
Heavy breaths, man.
You better enjoy all of it.
Oh, yeah.
Get all that smog.
Big lungs, baby. Gotta expand it all the way. But excuse me. Whoa, that's the first burp on the show. How many burps we got?
We've gotten a lot.
Okay, it's the Turner's tea.
It's
Yeah.
the tea.
I had kombucha that was fine the whole time prior to the show.
Now you got you're a little
Okay.
gassy. It happens.
It happens. It's a little gas. It
Change.
happens.
It happens.
But yeah, so finally walking out, which that, like I said, knowing that I got a little bit of a verbal beating on the way out, because in the end it was just like, hey, no one cares that you're a nice guy, and I was like, shit, 3 times I said it, but I was like, shit, 4, but what am I gonna do? So walking out, greatest feeling in the world. And I basically took that, we get done
You get
around
a week. You get a week after that.
May 20th, right? I think was when we, around that.
You're right around there.
Second to last week. So.
You get that whole extra week of this is your time to absorb you're going to become an alumni, but you have nothing else to do.
Nothing else.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, and what ended up happening is that, of course, there's a lot of drinking involved during my studying. And during that time, I was doing a lot of resume applying. I was applying a lot of jobs. And I wanted to leave, which is why I live in Pittsburgh now. But that's how far my
gas tank can take you.
Well, no, I was going to say my paper plane. But, yeah, just trying to thrive. Anyway, so I was flying everywhere during that week. So I'm like, yeah, California, Oregon.
I'm going anywhere. Wherever it'll take me.
Anywhere for a plane. And I got drunk enough to apply for the sales job that I ended up doing for about 1.5 years, and that got me to like a couple other sales jobs. And learned a lot there. Crazy times. And learned a lot about myself because,
you're making good money, too.
Yeah, but
right
that
out
was,
of school,
it was
immediately
cutthroat.
good money.
Well, yeah, but it was cutthroat 100% commission. Like EA,
You want to teach the people below you, but at the end of the day, it's still your sale. Don't step on my area.
Well, no, but beyond that, dude, no. It was door to door. You know, if I was training somebody, that's how crazy it was. They were making $30 off the $80 I was making. You know what I mean? But I was doing 6-7 sales a day.
Okay.
I was a high roller. Like,
Awesome.
Yeah, just like Creed in the office. You know, you have a lot of fun as a follower in a cult, but you make more money as a leader. That's what I was.
Been both.
Been both.
Enjoy both.
Yeah, but I can tell you, you have a lot more fun as a leader too. Don't let them fool you. You have a lot more fun. It was basically a sales call. It was terrible, cutthroat. Would never do it again. Would never recommend it because it's just like another downward spiral. That's basically what I had. So when I left that, I basically was just trying to play the hot hand. You know what I mean? It's just like,
what can I do to keep this?
Yeah, it's like somehow, like, you know, the gift to gab definitely worked out in my favor, but it was like, if somehow I didn't love baseball anymore, but I made it the pros, and like I was like, I'm done hitting home runs, but I'm just doing it for the money. It's basically what I was doing for sales for 3 years, and I just didn't like the people I was around, didn't like the person who I become. Basically, I changed my name to Gator. No, love that movie. Anyway,
Gator needs his gas.
yeah, no, I about needed one. Yeah, no.
Well, just
Glad I
remember
got out of
how pimps don't cry.
They don't. That's why I'm not a pimp.
So you move from sales, and you do a security thing for a little bit.
For a brief second, but I've been during that time I also been fluctuating in and out of Uber. You know,
And let's talk about you did your shameless plug in the beginning, first part.
Just to make it make sense.
Words,
technology. Yeah. Yeah.
So you're doing your podcast. We've done a couple things together. Actually, the beginning of this show, it's for the people that don't know how this all became. Kyle called me last year, right around draft time.
Yeah.
And me, him, and Tyler, Kyle,
Thaddeus,
Tyler, Thad Castle,
yep.
And myself. We did a draft preview show,
Mm-hmm.
which then turned into me doing a review of all of the picks that I had made. which then turned into a coach's show, which then led to the Alumni Tour, which is why Kyle's sitting next to me now. But that's not the first show that you've been involved in. I mean, there was Midnight Sack.
Yeah.
There was...
Yeah.
You had the one in between that was on was on Spotify.
Oh, the show that I did?
For a little bit.
Oh, it was called the Broheem. Yeah.
And then now you're into...
It's called the Stream Team. Yeah, where we just talk about whatever's on streaming. We can't go to movies anymore or go to concerts, so we do all the stuff you can get on.
You can do
through a plug.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's something you want to pursue and continue, and obviously.
Yeah, it's something that you
want to utilize the degree, is what you're.
To the most part, for the most part, if I can get the words out right. But yeah, I enjoyed doing it, and I really enjoyed Dr. Smith's film class.
Good time.
And
yeah. Except for Blue Velvet, don't watch it. If you're at home and you've never seen Blue Velvet, don't waste your time. It's a terrible movie.
But watch Rear Window.
Rear Window, and I'm big on Citizen Kane.
Oh yeah, that's a no-brainer, man.
And Casablanca, because
Yeah,
Humphrey Bogart. It's just a thing.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny you say that. Like that, those are all on like the Metacritics of like best films of all time.
Absolutely.
And I thought it was just a coincidence that we were watching them at the time. That's
Well,
just my lack of knowledge on it.
I'm going to wrap it up here.
Yeah.
With the you brought up Jason Smith, and I'm going to ask you one more question.
Sure.
We'll send it to Harry Chambers. But so Christian and I took the class together.
Yeah.
And we watched Jaws.
So did I. Yeah.
Everybody's watched Jaws how many times?
That's that's the first summer blockbuster.
So you had to take a test at the end of Jaws.
Yeah.
Third question, and I'll never forget the damn question. When they catch the first shark at the beginning of the movie and they cut it open, there's a license plate that falls out of its stomach. What state's it from? Louisiana is the answer. And the last the last digits are 5QXY. Because that's what Jason Smith thought a film class was, is you should be paying attention to everything. And he wasn't wrong. It helps in a lot of the stuff that we do. Like, it's weird. Yeah. I catch myself doing it a lot when we do a broadcast or when I do the show, is there's certain fine points that I want to be in the show to see if people notice them.
Oh, no. Well, see, I see all the flaws now. Because, like, I'm like, yo, Louisiana, what's that?
How does that make sense?
How does that get there?
Yes.
Yeah. And, like, I see, like, oh, man, that's a second shot. You know, like, oh, it's not a two-camera shot. That is
the shot, other shot over the shoulder and the whole wide angle.
I enjoyed that class, but it ruined me. Now I can't watch a film under an hour and a half, like unless it's like a comedy.
Yeah, because you're just sitting there watching it, going, oh,
"Yeah,
I could have done that better. That would have been
the whole time."
Yeah,
the whole time.
So
thank you for that.
Last question. Jason Smith was way above. He was a super genius, truthfully.
Yeah. Well, we also watched. Oh my God, what's that? I lost it. Who cares? Let's move on.
So, if you had to summarize in 2 sentences your Bethany experience, what would it be?
In 2 sentences.
I'm gonna put a little clamp on you there and see if you can do it.
My Bethany experience was like going in the grocery store and getting a bunch of bananas that are green, then taking them home, thinking they're good to eat, eating one, then, oh shit, it's not right, putting it away, forgetting about it, and then they just rot.
So that was a paragraph?
Yeah.
But I think you did better than a rotten.
Well, no. So you go back and then you get another, you learn. You're like, oh, they need to be yellow.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Then you eat them when they're yellow with the spots on them.
Well, we're at that point. Kyle, I want to thank you for being on the show. We're gonna do a shameless plug for the guy downstairs.
Oh, for
Chambers.
Sure. He's handling the
Harry Chambers General Store. He's gonna take it from me. But here are the shirts. This is the red shirt. That's the new Shroom Capital of the World shirts.
It's true.
Make sure you stop down and get yourself one of those. I'll take that from you, guy.
Sorry.
That tea's getting you. Harry Chambers is going to tell you about everything that he has. He's got breakfast sandwiches, which we already know about. Dollar sandwiches, the original dollar menu.
Top notch. Oh, gosh, dude.
The weekly specials, the soups, the Fish Friday, which is going to be when this show comes out. Fish Friday will be today. If you haven't, make sure if you're in Bethany, you stop and get a shirt. Say hello to the Chambers. He's got biscuits and gravy. That's the new thing.
Really?
Biscuits and gravy.
No way.
So, without further ado, Harry Chambers, tell him how I'm in my secret lair.
You've just watched another exciting episode of Dingo Talk, recorded in the secret lair deep in the hills of Bethany, West Virginia. Let me give a shout out to my man Don over at Maple Shade Outdoor. He's got some great stuff going on over there on YouTube and Instagram. Please make sure you check him out. Also, now available as promised, we have the second edition Bethany, West Virginia Mushroom Capital of the World t-shirts and our Chambers General Store. If we don't have it, you don't need it t-shirts. Available in all sizes. So make sure you stop by the store for a t-shirt, breakfast sandwich, or sausage, biscuits, and gravy, and make sure to check out those daily lunch specials. Now back to you, Dingo.
You wanna know about